Okay, so by now you should have the list of fields that you may want to show in the report. And all of this is brought about by a simple select statement that you saw in the previous video. Now let's add our first visual element of our report. You can do that by going to the toolbox over here on the right side and choose, for example, table. The table is the most common element that you can display in a report. You can do that by going to the toolbox, as I said, click it and drag it to your design surface like this. Or you can right click on the design surface, go to insert and choose from the available list of elements over here and choose table. You have two tables over here, but we are going to work with one of them only, so we're just going to select it and click on delete. Okay, so this is our main table. Let's say we want to have more than 3 columns, because 3 columns is the default number of columns when you're inserting a table. You're going to simply right click on one of the columns, go to insert column, and you can choose either to insert it to the left or the right. Let's go with right. Repeat the same thing and choose left this time. And we're going to put this in the middle of our working surface. And now you're going to ask yourself, okay, so I have a table, but how do I add a column in this table? A column that my data set brought back. So let's say we want to show in this first column of our table, we want to show the first name of the person. And you have two options of doing that. You can either go in and select this cell over here. You got to be very careful, but you'll get used to that. When working with tables, this first column, first row, sorry, is the header as it's written over here, and this one, the second one, contains a group, and this will be able to display the data that you bring back using your SQL statement. So when you're inserting the columns you want to display in your table, you're going to choose this second line over here that you're seeing, not the first one, the second one. The problem is if you're going to insert the first name, for example, brought back by the dataset in your first row, only your first entry in the results set, let's have a look at it, only this one will be displayed. If you're inserting in your header of the table, if you're going to choose to insert it in the data section, as you should, all of these entries over here will be displayed. 1900, oh my god, no. We gotta limit this a bit. Almost 20,000 rows are gonna take a lot of space in our report. So let's limit it to our first 100 results. Okay, this is much better. And take that, copy it, and let's update our data set. At this time, our data set is going to bring back all the results that you saw earlier, almost 20,000 entries, and we don't need to show that much, at least for now. We're just going to go here, right click, and choose dataset properties, or you can double click and you go to get to the same window. So we're gonna replace this with our select top 100 entries. Click OK, and we should be good by now. Okay, so going back to our columns and rows, what you can do here is go in and hover over your first cell. You can see a small icon displayed over here. Click on it and you will get the list that your dataset brings back. So we want to choose first name in our first column, last name in our second column. Let's go with title now, and let's choose additional contact info and modify date. Okay, this should be good for now. As you can see, when you were adding your columns, the header was automatically being populated with the name of your column brought back by the data set. But okay, don't panic about this. You can choose to edit it like this, or type whatever you want inside, and that will work just fine. There you go. So you can edit the header as you want, depending on your needs. But we'll stick with the defaults one for now. Okay, now, of course, you've added your columns and the information that you want to display over there, and you actually want to see how this report looks like. Let's go and click on the preview tab, wait for the report to load, and this is it. This is all the information that you have seen in SQL Server Management Studio with that select top 100 all. So we have our first name in the first column, last name, the title, additional contact information, which doesn't seem to be very populated over here. But what can we do? This is the data that we have in the database, and the modified date. Of course, this looks awful, and we will have to work a bit with it and make it a bit prettier.